Small cities across the United States are about to see an unprecedented surge of tourists. On Monday, the entire continental U.S. will witness a solar eclipse for the first time in a century. The moon passes in front of the sun, blocking the sun's light and forming a corona. Towns that most Americans have never heard of, like Depot Bay, Oregon, are in the path of totality, where the sun will be fully blocked. Now, people are making trips to these towns across 14 states to see the total eclipse. Joining us live is Nicki Viall. She's a researcher at the U.S. Space Agency, NASA. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Nicki, let's start with the science behind the eclipse. Why is it so rare for so many people to see a solar eclipse?
Yeah, so there's an eclipse about every 18 months when the moon crosses in front of the sun. But most of the Earth is the ocean, and so it's the ocean that gets to see the eclipse, not people. So the fact that this eclipse lines up such that it comes across the United States, entering through Oregon, exiting through South Carolina, and everybody in the United States will get to see at least a partial eclipse, that hasn't happened in 100 years. So this is really going to be an amazing opportunity for the whole country to get to participate in this eclipse.
So when people see this eclipse, they'll notice that it will be over almost as quickly as it began. People started buying these eclipse glasses months ago. Why does it happen so fast?
Well, the eclipse itself actually takes several hours for the moon from when it first makes contact in front of the sun for it to go all the way across. The part that is quick is totality. And actually, that's the part where you can take off the glasses. If you're in totality for those couple of minutes when the moon totally blocks out the sun, it is safe to take off the glasses, and it's the one time you can look directly at the sun.
I know a lot of people are rushing to those towns across the United States, gearing up for all those tourists. I saw the glasses that you had there. They're going to be looking at the sun, something that we all thought is unsafe to do. What is the safest way to watch this eclipse?
That's right. So you never want to look directly at the sun, except, like I said, during that little piece of totality. You never want to look before, certainly not during the eclipse, and not after either at the sun. You can look, though, with these glasses. These are safety eclipse glasses, not regular sunglasses. You want to check the ISO number and the manufacturer on the glasses. Cross-check that with eclipse2017.nasa.gov. We have information on the safe manufacturers, because there are some unsafe ones out there. The other thing you can do is indirect method of watching the eclipse. That's a projection of the sun and the moon going across the sun down onto the ground in front of you. Any small hole, any pinhole will be able to produce an image of the sun. You can use a pinhole projector, a box, you can build one of those, but you can also just go stand underneath a tree and look at the light as it comes through the tree. You'll see the crescent shape from that moon going across the sun.
Funny question for you. We know what we will see here on Earth looking up at the sun, but what if you were in space looking back at Earth during the eclipse? What would you see then?
Yeah, if you're out in space, in fact, what you'll see is the shadow of the moon going across the Earth. And we are doing exactly that. The Discover spacecraft sits in between the sun and the Earth and is going to watch the moon's shadow go across the Earth. The International Space Station, the astronauts are also going to get to see it. And the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, which usually looks at the moon, is going to point and look at the Earth to, again, watch the shadow of the moon go across the Earth.
Some cool stuff, an amazing view. Nicki Viall, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.